Hello, everybody. How are you? I'm really hoping I've got the time zone right today. Hi, everyone. Welcome again to the final day of the Harmony Fest. I hope you're all having a fantastic time. I've been watching a few of the videos this morning. I've been just sitting back, relaxing, and enjoying my Saturday morning. And I've just was watching the live run by Julie, which was incredible. The panel, which was really good. I was really enjoying that, Julie. That was unreal. Okay, guys, so I have half an hour to come on and share with you what I'm going to talk about today. For those of you who don't know me and haven't met me yet, my name is Ali Sugars, and I am the founder and the principal of the Heart and Soul Business Academy. I'll point backwards, I'm going to point up there. And I have a real passion for helping people to build, grow, and scale your businesses to have incredible confidence and incredible success. And I teach in the areas of mindset, motivation, marketing, and momentum. So that's a real little bit about me. I went full on into my business and how I came into it on the first day of the Harmony Fest. So you're welcome to go and watch that replay if you like. Or, of course, you can go and check out my stall album, which you'll find all the stuff in there that you need. Now, I can see there's a couple of people hopping on. Hi, say g'day in the comments because I love to feel like I'm in the room with you rather than just talking to a camera. It's a lot more fun, especially on a Saturday. You want to be out and about and, mingling, networking with people on a Saturday, don't you? All right. So without further ado, what I want to talk to you today in the Harmony Fest about is I want to be really transparent, actually, and I want to share some mistakes that I made in business. And if there's a mistake to be made in business, I swear I've made them all. These are 5 of the main ones that I have made. And I want to share them with you and ways that you can avoid to make them yourself. Okay. Now, let me just share my screen. All right. Now, with these mistakes, guys, I used to feel completely ashamed. Whenever I'd make a mistake in business, I used to feel really ashamed. I used to feel like I was going to go hide under a rock. And if I made them, and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I'm so embarrassed. Everyone's going to think I'm not professional. I don't know what I'm talking about. One thing that I have learned over the years in business is to embrace the mistakes when you make them, learn from them. However, at the same time, if by sharing some of the major mistakes that I have made today, if I can help you avoid the heartache, help you avoid, help you save some time and some money as well, which would be great, wouldn't it? This is how I want to help you today. Hello, Chris. How are you? Good morning, beautiful lady. I love it when people say hi. Lovely to see you here, gorgeous. All right, so let's get into these 5 things. So the first thing, now I just mentioned it before, one of the pillars that I teach on is mindset, and this is huge. And so something that I believed or that I didn't, or a big mistake that I made when I first went into business, came back into business, when I started as a VA, I really didn't even think about the mindset aspect of business. And so I came in the period of when I was going through a complete mental breakdown. I shared this a little bit on, what day was it? Wednesday. That, I'd left a school, I'd experienced workplace bullying, sexual harassment, all that. So I was going through a major breakdown and anxiety, depression, PTSD, all of that type of stuff. And then I went into business. And it didn't help me at all to do that. So some ways, so this essentially, because of that experience, is now why I focus so heavily on mindset in business, because I have learned how important that mental health is, just as well as physical health. And let's be honest, they actually go together. They definitely go together, because your physical health will affect your mental health will affect your physical health. Like it or not, it's a cycle. And a lot of us will focus mainly on the physical health or we'll focus on one or the other, but we don't realize how much the mental health or the mental wellness affects us in particular in business. And so that's why it is, it's really important to develop a healthy mindset and continue and do it on a continual basis, not just it's not just a one and done type thing. This is continual. You're going to have good days in business, you're going to have bad days in business. Okay, when you are working on yourself, when you are working on a healthy mindset, even when you get in a shitty mood, you have that crappy day, you know much better how to deal with it. Okay. And also with the mental health, let's call it mental wellness, with the mental wellness side of it in business, right? We need to put ourselves out there. It's part of business, like it or not. These days, people want to see the face behind the business or the face behind the product, right? It's a lot of people say to me, well, it's okay for you, Ali, because you sell a service. You are your service. You have to get out there and put your face out there. Yeah, I do. Absolutely. But as well as someone selling products, it's the same type of thing. People still want to see the faces behind the products that you sell, even in a small business. So it's important that when you're working on your healthy mindset, your mental wellness, that you embrace the beautiful person that you are, to be able to put yourself out there just as you are. So your self-love will help you to be able to feel that confidence. And so you need to believe that you are absolutely awesome. This is the self-confidence, right? Positive self-belief, positive self-esteem. And this is what I mean when I say this is something we constantly need to work on. A lot of people will say to me, Ali, you always look so confident when you go on social media. You know what? There's a lot of stuff, guys, that goes on up here before I press the go button. And I'm sure the same is with you as well. But it's just a matter of these regular morning routines and all these things that we should be doing and that we need to be doing to continuously have that mental wellness and that healthy mindset. Okay, so that's number one. And I will always put that as number one. Never, ever will I say that last. That is always the first one I will say, because if you can't feel my passion about it, where are you? What am I doing wrong? Because I am so damn passionate about having a healthy mindset. Yes, I teach on all other aspects of business as well, but mindset is a big, big focus for me. Okay. Excuse my coughing, guys. Now, the other number two is not having it. I didn't have a plan to follow. When I came into business, I was flying by the seat of my pants, right? I just went, you know what? I'm just going to set up a business. I'm going to do a course, learn how to be a virtual assistant, and I'm going to create a website, and I'm going to just go and get clients. That was what I thought. Didn't have a plan on how I was going to do it. I was just going to do it. Right now, that's great. That's a dream, right? That was a dream that I wanted to do. I wanted to set up a virtual assistant in the business at that stage. I wanted to get clients, but I didn't know how I was going to do it. And so really, because I didn't have a plan to follow, I did not have much success at all. Had some, but not much. So when you do have a plan to follow, right, it helps you aim towards things. So like a milestone. So if you don't have a milestone, you feel like you're floundering, and it's almost, what's the point? And I felt like that many times as a VA in particular, also as a coach sometimes when I how do I put this? When I avoided setting up a plan, even though I had a plan, or even I was avoiding following it, right? I felt like I was floundering. And I really didn't know what I was working towards. And so this is why the second thing that I teach on is the motivation, the having the dream, understanding, being clear on what your dream is, but having the plan of action to follow. Creating understanding what your goals are, and then having that plan of action to follow, so that when you can reach those milestones, it's like, yes, beautiful, it's fantastic. And it gives you, when you do reach those milestones, an absolute sense of achievement. Like, how cool is it when you say, oh my, like, even I love Mondays, right? Because Mondays are my organization days. I have goals set on Mondays that I want to do, and they're busy days. They're working in the back end of my business. They're busy days. But I tell you what, when I get to the end of a Monday and all those things, I can tick them off my list because I've followed the plan. Oh my God, do I feel really good? Okay. And so this sense of achievement, guys, and let's look further into this. It's more than just, having a plan to follow and ticking it off the list. When you have the plan to follow, you follow it, you do tick things off the list, whether it's daily, monthly, weekly, whatever. This is actually what helps us in those not so good days in business, or let's call them unsuccessful days in business, okay? Because this is when we can actually look back at what we've achieved in the past and celebrate it. So when you have those crappy days, when you have that sales call that didn't go through, you just go, well, that's okay because I have achieved this, so I am good. And what does it do? It helps you with your mindset. All right. So this is why all of these things will work together. That sense of achievement, I can tell you, even the sense of achievement when you make your first sale. Oh my God, so good. So good. Now, also when you have a plan to follow, when you're putting it together, this is really exciting. When you take the time to sit down, when you take the time to create a plan, a lot of other questions will surface around exactly what you're looking to achieve and why. And I actually find this a lot when I sit down, and I'm in the process of doing that now, sitting down, figuring out what's going to happen next year, what that's going to look like, how I'm going to execute it. I'm busy creating my plan of action for next year. And while I'm doing that, it's bringing up a lot of other questions. It's kind of like, well, if I do this here and I do this now, I'm going to have time to do this. Is this a good form of marketing? Is this going to work? Can I do this more? All of these things are going to happen. And so what it also helps you to do, and this is what I'm finding now, because I'm busy putting a plan of action together, right? I'm trying to. Sorry, Leslie, I just read your comment and you're listening, done voting, and now full bowl start. Awesome, Leslie. That's fantastic. Sorry, I just read your comment. I'm like, that's really cool. You're so busy, Leslie. I love it. Anyway, where was I? So when you create a plan of action, it really does help you go a lot deeper into your business. It helps you understand your business. I completely lost my train of thought, guys. Must be Saturday, must be the weekend, must be time for some time off. All right, let's just go to the next one. You know what I'm getting at, though. All right, number 3, waiting until everything was perfect before launching or never launching. Oh, my God, yes. Okay, so hands up who's either watching. If you're watching the replay, by the way, pop #replay. If you're watching live and you have ever put things off, procrastinated because something you didn't feel was perfect enough, put your hands up. All my hands and legs and everything is in the air, because that's me, definitely. I made that mistake a lot of the time, not launching a website because it wasn't perfect enough, not launching a course, not opening my coaching business because I didn't feel perfect enough, because I didn't feel like I knew enough. And so, what that in essence did, and what this will do for you as well, if you're waiting until everything's perfect, it'll never be perfect. It will never be perfect. So why wait? Guilty, Chris. I know, right? Look, and we're all in it together, sister. We really are. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. We are all perfectly imperfect. Our businesses are perfectly imperfect. Our services, our products are perfectly imperfect, right? So what are you waiting for? And it's never going to get, how do I put this? It's never going to improve if you don't put something imperfect out there in the first place. That's a good one. And this is the thing that I discovered too. And this was a big thing that I learned as I spoke to people, and as I, have gotten to network with a lot more people. They don't actually care about perfection. They don't actually care about that type of thing as much as we think they do. And in actual fact, if we're not perfect, it makes us look more human and it helps us relate to them more. So why try and be perfect? Make mistakes, learn from them, roll with them, improve with them, improve them, from them, by them, whatever. But people, we think they care, but they just don't. I used to, and this is the thing, right? I used to get on to a live, to do a Facebook live, and I used to think that I didn't have to say and I didn't, or I wasn't allowed to say and that all my words had to be perfect, and that I didn't want everyone to see that I was reading notes. I don't actually care now, because you know what? Because I wanted to present as a perfect business coach, right? I love what I do. I'm good at what I do, just as you love what you do and you're good at what you do, but none of us are perfect at what we do or what we sell. And people will relate to that. And that's the thing, guys. All mistakes and imperfections, most of them, or, they can be corrected. If you make a mistake, most of them you can correct. If you can't correct it, you can apologize for it and make sure you don't do it again. Imperfections, like I said, you can follow this through. You can put something out there and perfect it as you go. And I was talking about this a little bit yesterday. You can start selling, start doing a coaching business. You can put your services out there, charge a little amount, because you're not feeling like you can charge a lot yet, but you will get better as you go. You will get better as you go, and therefore you can raise your prices. Any mistakes that you make, you can correct, and so you can charge a little bit more. So don't procrastinate. Don't wait till everything is perfect before launching or before putting yourself out there, please, because if you do, you're missing out on opportunities, a lot of opportunities, and a lot of sales. And I would hate for you to never go into business and never follow your dream. Now, this was a huge one for me. This one was trying to and believing that I had to do everything all alone in business. Now, majority of us in Australia will call ourselves sole traders, okay? We'll start in business as a sole trader. But sole trader does not mean you have to do business alone. It just doesn't. There are people out there to help you. And this is the way you can do that. So first of all, network. This is essentially what we are all doing with each other. This in both personal aspects of life and in business as well. In this Harmony Fest, we are networking. We're surrounding ourselves with like-minded people. So those people that are going to help you grow, that are going to learn to lift you up, right? Learn and lift you up. So you're going to learn from them. They're going to learn from you. Absolutely, they're going to lift you up. Now, when you network, and a lot of us will think of networking in businesses, going to, and it's probably less so now since COVID was there, going to a networking meeting, throwing your business card at someone, having a bit of a chat and then walking away, right? Networking has changed. That doesn't work anymore. But, what I find is now people are wanting to make those relationships, like meet people and actually talk with each other. Now, this doesn't mean that always you're going to necessarily at these networking meetings, whether they're live in person or whether they're on Zoom, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to pick up clients, but you never know who you might meet. And let me give you a classic example. Sophia joined my Heart and Soul Virtual Expo, which I run very similar to this. which, by the way, is happening in November. If you want to check that out, go and have a look at my stall album. All the details to register as a stall holder are there. But Sophia came to me, she joined as a visitor in my Heart and Soul Virtual Expo group, and then she joined the expo, and then I got very interested in her Sacred You tribes, and then I joined Sacred You, and then I'm a tribe host, and now I'm a sponsor here, and Sophia is we are working together. That is a classic example of networking, right? Other people. So, I've got two of my best friends I met in a networking group called 5 Foot Rope. One of those friends I'm now in, we're busy setting up a joint venture together. The other person became my best friend. I lived with her for 6 months, right? You just never know. So that's not necessarily business. Yes, absolutely, we support each other in business. We've become firm friends, and we're also supportive business colleagues. And this is what networking can do for you guys. So get support in that business. Don't ignore advice from others who have been there before you. This is something I did too, right? People are where they are in business for a reason, or where they are in life for a reason. And while you might not always agree with their advice, okay, it's important that even though you don't necessarily agree with it, listen to it and glean what you can from it, because you never know what you actually might learn. And even better, if you do meet someone and it resonates with you, then implement what they're suggesting, and let it resonate with you. I have a dear friend who, and I don't think this was meant to come across as harshly as it did, but told me one day that my message in business was weak. Now that kind of put me on guard a little bit. It kind of put me off from this person a little bit, but I know that their heart was in the right place. And when I actually went back and I analysed it, I realised that this person had been in business for a lot longer than me, and that, maybe they were right. Maybe my message at that stage was a bit weak. So I worked hard to improve it. And this is kind of when I came to the conclusion that, it's actually not bad. It's not a bad thing to listen to other people's advice. She'd been in business for a while. And so by listening to her, it actually did me a big favor, even though I didn't like what she said at the time. Experts, guys, are there for a reason. Use these experts. There is a reason right now that business coaching is growing at a rapid pace. It's huge every year. Every year, business coaching is going up, especially, yes, since COVID, because small businesses and people are, startups are opening everywhere. And people need help with them. Some are going to come into running a small business with a little bit of knowledge. Some have little to no knowledge at all. It's maybe just a dream of something that they want to achieve. And so either way, the industry, the business coaching industry and the business industry, the small business industry is constantly changing, and people need help. And so this was, ironically, even though now I'm a business coach, right, this was the biggest thing I avoided doing in my business, was going to the experts, because I was thinking, you know what, I can do it all alone. I've got this. My background, I've been running businesses since I was 20 years old, and I know everything, and I don't need to go get a business coach. That's literally the attitude that I had. And so what I started to do was try and get all the free stuff and glean all the free downloads I could, save them into a folder, and I was trying to put a business together with all that free stuff, which really was not in-depth information. And so I was getting a piece of all the different puzzles from all the different people that I was following, and I was trying to put them together to make a puzzle make sense, one puzzle that made sense. And it was never going to happen because they were pieces of all the different puzzles. And it wasn't until I hired a coach a business coach to help me in my business, to help me put a strategy together for my business that anything that I ever started to take off. And so I've never actually looked back. You know, I've had that coach, I've had a couple of coaches since, and they've all taught me so much. And this is what I've learned, is that experts are there for a reason. And so I'm not going to lie, I'll get very frustrated when I see people just kind of gleaning all the free stuff and thinking that they're going to be able to use that to be able to develop their business, and then get frustrated because nothing's happening. So this is why, you know, I say, guys, please, you know, and yes, I'm talking about me as a business coach, other business coaches as well. We are here for a reason. We've been there. We've made these mistakes. We have developed our strategies that are going to help you in business. And so that's the other thing that I learned, was rather than, you know, getting all the free stuff, I had to invest. I just had to invest, you know. And I was never once, not once, regretted investing money in my business, in myself, to grow, and my business as well. All right, now number 5 is I didn't set clear boundaries. I just didn't. No, I really didn't. I was doing this. I was working 24/7. I was working 7 days a week for probably about 14, 15 hours a day. I was getting up in the middle of the night to attend webinars and free trainings, just like I told you, right? I was working ridiculously long hours. And because I was doing that and I was trying to do everything myself, I got burnt out very, very quickly, right? This was both in that VA business and also when I started doing personal coaching. And, you know, I realized at some point that getting up in the middle of the night, I was even getting up to do like interviews overseas, which wasn't a terribly bad thing. That's really good for promotion and marketing. But the webinars, you know, they weren't giving me any information. I was just getting up at 2:30 a.m. for nothing. It wasn't helping me, because I already had that mindset that I wasn't going to pay anything. Right? I was just going to go to the free webinar and see what I could learn. And of course, I didn't learn anything. And the long hours that I was working was draining me. And so I really had to put boundaries in. And these days, I am very strict with my boundaries, that I do not work on a Sunday ever. And it's very rare that I work on a Saturday. Today, that's an exception because we're in the Harmony Fest and I love it. All right, I'm watching the time. I didn't have any boundaries. You know, no boundaries, run the risk of getting taken advantage of, that happened to me several times. Definitely, I was taken advantage of. People were trying to get free stuff out of me, and because I wanted to prove myself, I felt I had to give away my services for free. And so boundaries are necessary to help you keep up your energy. Right? You know what you can cope with better than anybody else. I know I do my best work in the morning, which is the best time of day for me. So I know that at a certain time of day, I need to switch off, right? Or I do the main brain power things in the morning in my business, so that in the afternoon I can do like those a little bit easier things. So don't forget to set your boundaries, guys. So let's have a quick rundown. I'm just looking at the time. So number 1 is make sure you have a healthy mindset. Work on it on a daily basis. Make sure that you have a plan to follow, right, and a strategy, and you follow it. Don't wait until everything is perfect. We're all perfectly imperfect. You don't have to do it alone. There are people like me and other people out there. We're ready to help you guys. This is what we do. It's a passion for what we do. And make sure that you set boundaries and stick to those boundaries as well. It's really important, guys. Okay, so I hope that has helped you today. And I know I'm just rushing a little bit here, but this is my last opportunity. So, guys, if you have loved these sessions that I have held for you and you want to work with me more, we are launching. We are in the pre-launch phase of of bringing in a whole new format of the Heart and Soul Business Academy. We're officially launching on the 1st of November. But if you want to have your opportunity to get pre-launch prices, feel free to pop pre-launch in the comments below, and we will get in contact with you. Now, also, if you are interested in coming into my virtual expo, which is on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of November, head over to my stall album. You'll get all the information that you would like there. We'd love to have you. We've got plenty of spaces for stall holders. It's only $50, guys, so it's really inexpensive. Lastly, just before I go, I want to say one more huge thank you to Sophia and your team. You guys have done an incredible job with this Harmony Fest. I'm so proud and honoured to be a part of it. Thank you for inviting me. And I would also love you to see you in my Sacred You tribe on Monday mornings at 10:30 Eastern Daylight Savings Time. It's called Empowered Entrepreneurs Tribe. Would love to see you there. Also, you can get the details of that over in my stall album. All right, must go. Thank you, everyone. See you later. Bye.